All right, this is a recap, a late night, midnight key recap of the great garden fight, the garden party, in which it lived up to its expectations of very interesting fights, very competitive at times, and pretty much the favorites won. But the thing was, the other guys, the underdogs, had their chances and made things interesting. I had bet on both sides. I both do both sides against the middle sometimes in order to get some moolah with the fighters that are underdogs, but nobody knows that they have their chances. Now, Keyshawn Davis, he impressed me. He fought Denise what else? I can't pronounce the names. I'm sorry, Benedict. And he, in spite of his lack of experience, his talent willed out. And the Eastern European, or not, yeah, well, the Ukrainian, he was awkward, he was clever, but the overall talent of Kishan was too much. Or the power and the body shots. See, a lot of times, you can be elusive with the head and have a very hard head, but the body is vulnerable with all fighters. And Keyshawn destroyed the guy in 4 rounds and never was in trouble. And the awkwardness of the clever awkwardness of the Ukrainian didn't matter. Both were Olympians. But the younger, fresher, more physically gifted fighter, Keyshawn won. They had some intrigue there with hate crimes or whatever, but both were trying to get each other's skin. I don't take these things seriously unless somebody gets hurt in when they're having literally hurt. And now feel like psychologically hurt when they're having the weigh-in and they had brawls or whatever. I don't believe in that. I'm against it. And now, Xandor Zares, I probably this he's not. He's a Puerto Rican. He has a Z-Man. It's from Slava sponsor. Now this was an interesting fight because it was a test, really, whether the Z-Man, the Puerto Rican Pope, could take a punch because the little German, nice one that I learned, was awkward to get a punch, got a big punch, and he's being trained by Roy Jones. Now, let me tell you something. At one point, at one point with the Z-Man dominating, because he's bigger, faster, more clever, let's face it. At one point, that little German guy, he nailed him right on the chin. And the Z-Man got really hurt, very hurt. And so punch, and that's why I thought it might have been an upset because I had seen the fighter from Germany. I know he was awkward and he's fast, and he got a big punch. And he had his moments. And if he had more time, we're talking one of the upsets of the year. But talent will out, physical advantages will out, and cleverness of the Puerto Rican Hope was too much. He bloodied the little German. I say little German. He was 5'11" to 5'8", something in that direction, maybe 5'7". Anyway, let's see what's going on here. Uh, Jared Anderson. Now this time I thought was, I put in an last-minute bet that Jared would be in trouble because he was coming off a big knockout, devastating knockout loss. This African guy. And he had been knocked down 5 times. And they were putting him in with the Greek European guy, big puncher, uh, didn't know how durable he was, a big puncher and fast hands, but a little bit one-dimensional. And that's what it panned out. And sometimes he seemed like he was going to turn the tide, and he was nailing the baby. That's Baby Anderson, that's his name. with some good shots. So maybe he doesn't have a glass jaw, but at one point he said, "I don't want to be here," because he was a little overweight. Because he was going to have a hard time because the Greek wasn't he wasn't a Greek god, but he was trim. And baby, he had a little baby fat around the midsection. He came in as heaviest of his career. So he has no question of the man's training. Um, if and at one point, just the end of the fight, the Greek went all out because basically he was more counterpunching and opening up when needed, but not very aggressive. I mean, aggressive, but not very aggressive, reactive. And what happens is this: the Greek has him pinned on the ropes, and it looked like Anderson if it had been a 12 rounder. I gave him another a few more minutes. Bum 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 bum. Big upset. It didn't happen. Anderson, the baby, gets to fight another day. Maybe he won't be a crybaby like he was crying during the fight. He wanted to quit. He wasn't reacting well. But they're good fighters and heavyweights and more dimensional than the Greek. The Greek, he's Greek by way of Sweden. They have a little integration going on here. Now, Roland Palico, 14-0 with 9 KOs against John Carlos Torres. Torres. Now, this, if you looked at the two fighters, I would say Torres looked like the more formidable guy, but he was little. Both undefeated, or actually Torres had lost one fight. Good records, very big punches. But Torres is a reason why somebody basically doesn't have isn't rose up early, and Torres is in mid-30s, so there's something wrong there. Why didn't somebody take him on the wing? And then he's getting long in the tooth, and he fights a young lion, Olympian for the Dominican Republic. And I looked at the two of them, and Torres waits too long. He comes in there, then he marches in big punches when you get on the ropes, when you cooperate. The Dominican, he's a counterpuncher, smooth boxer, good left hook. He destroyed the guy in one round. One round. I expected him to win. He's going to take apart Torres over 5. Let's see. Oh, the fight of the year. Vito Melikicura. Melikicura, it was an Italian-Polish situation, I imagine, against Conor O'Goyle, the Irishman from the Emerald Isles. Well, this was a great fight. This was a very equal fight. Uh, the Irish guys turned pro late. He had a big amateur career, and he was fighting a kid who in his teens turned pro. And honestly, I thought this could be a real big upset because Vito has all the talent in the world, but has he been in a dogfight? And I know the Irishman, just the pubs alone, he's been in a dogfight. Now, and he was in his 30s. Um, it was a dogfight, this fight. They went after each other. Blood, this and that and other. But the Italian stallion of Polish extraction, he might be Eastern European, he could be a Russian, but most likely Polish, Italian, or Polish, whatever. Anyway, he outfought him. His talent a little down. He was a little more smoother. He was a little more clever. And he beat and bloodied the Irishman, but didn't knock him out. It was a very, very good fight. Very old school. Old school. And let's see. Abdul Mason, 16-0 with 14 KOs against Manuel Jimenez, 16-2-1, 11 KOs. Now this Abdul Mason is a future stuff. He has all of it. He has a big punch. He has cleverness. And the thing is, he got floored in his previous fight, I think. Yeah. But he got up. And that's his toughness. Maybe he doesn't have an iron chin, but he has a heart, and talented. I think he's going to be a champion. I think he's going to be something, what they call special. Well, that's my recap of Friday. You got the garden. Uh, Excuse me, I'm a little disheveled. I gotta get a haircut. Not a haircut. I'll let the hair grow, but I got to shave here because I look like a bum. I want to look like a bum. All right, guys. Na 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 na.